Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M44, it's the Tier 6 American SPG, and we're located on the south spawn of Redshire Encounter. And the name of the commander is Fishercat. Now, as you can probably see, the M44 is built on quite a light chassis. It's missing the idler wheel at the back, which you'd normally expect to be quite high, but they've put it fairly low. And this is something that the Americans did to actually increase the amount of contact with the ground to transfer recoil, as well as putting a spade on the back of the Arty, which could dig into the ground and act as an anchor. Okay, Fishercat's still deciding where he's going to go. I think he's actually going to stay here and fire at any enemy that turn up. It's unusual to find somebody who'll actually stay at the spawn point, because it's the most obvious place that the other Arty are going to look for counter batteries straight off the bat. So it's usually advisable to change your position right away, otherwise you might get an easy counter. Well, there's the Leo tank. That's a medium, round out. Wow, that was a direct hit straight away. Really good shot. Tier 7 Leo is quite a dangerous medium tank. Okay, we've got an IKV hiding behind that rock, but he's Arty safe. That KV-1 is not. Oh, he just got hit. There's a Hellcat. That's a good target. Tier 6 tank destroyer. And it landed just short of it. 179 hit points. But he is taking fire, that Hellcat. And he's picked up some damage assist there. Now, there was an SU-100 just around about there. And the round, I don't think I heard an explosion, which means that he probably did hit that SU-100. Right, AMX M445 in the cap area. So he is capping. Okay, it's a difficult aim because he's on the reverse slope of that hill, or those hills. Now, I don't know if that round went in, but he did fire. Okay, is he going to relocate? No, he's changed his mind. He's going to go for another target. Panzer T25 over by the castle. And there's that AMX M445. He's being attacked by the Strib M4257, but he was actually taken out by the Hellcat on our side. Okay, SU-100 again. And he's missing some hit points. So yes, probably he was hit, but he's showing some stun as well, which means he was probably hit by our Arty. That one stunned him. Got 2 critical hits. I think it's tracked him. Oh, he picked up some more stun assist there. And there was a GW Panther in view very briefly. I think he's trying to work out where he's gone. Fires a round in. Oh, he hit something. Oh, he's killed him. He must have set fire to him. He's got an arsonist badge. That is always a danger if you don't carry a fire extinguisher on Arty. Something unfortunately I don't tend to do, because I tend to use a premium consumable to increase the performance of my Arty. And it does tend to work quite well. Okay, that Panzer T25 is Arty safe behind the church, or the keep of the castle. Well, he fired a round in at T1 Heavy, but he hit something else. And he did have a red line, which tends to make me think there was an obstruction in the way of the shell at the moment he fired. And he may have hit somebody else. Okay, AT2. That's a British Tier 5 tank destroyer. And that's a near splash, 151. Just off his front right-hand side. And he's picked up the stun assist because the AT2 was taken out. Okay, he's reloading and he's relocating. Now, in battles like this, where your team have occupied one half of the map, and they have near enough covered the east side of the map, you can relocate, and it's useful on an encounter battle like Redshire to move to the east, because that means you can fire Arty shots into the cap without having the hills get in the way. So you've got no ridge lines to worry about. But somebody is capping. And we can't see it at the moment because there's nobody spotting the cap. As you can see, he's still got the problem of the ridge lines at the moment. So he gets a red line every time he moves over one. Nope, still can't see anything. There's the Leo. Okay, well, we can shoot at the Leo, but no, unfortunately he's behind the rock. Or we can get him now. He's pulled back from the rock. Round out. And that's a near splash for 127. That's a good shot. And Fishercat's relocating. Okay, it's reloaded. Now I think the big problem is knowing how far you can relocate, and you don't really want to sit on top of the hill, because if you do, you do become rather prominent, too much exposed, your silhouette's exposed, and people can see you at some distance if you just sit on top of a hill like that. So you need to be careful not to be at the top of the hill, but to sit near it, and unfortunately that T-34 was just too far away. Okay, it's got a Type 64 over on the other hill opposite, but they're on the reverse side. And although he's pulling back to get into a better position, unfortunately those enemy have gone unspotted. Now maybe we're hoping now for the Panzer IV-H to spot them. And there's the T-34 disappearing north. Fires around him, estimated where he is. No, didn't give enough lead. That T-34 was moving too quickly. Okay, he's reloading. He's moving into near enemy territory actually. I'd be a bit cautious about doing this, even though you can shoot from that dip where the river is. The problem is shooting up over ridge lines means that the ridge lines themselves can become a bit of a problem, and the closer you get to your enemy, the more that a ridge line will hinder you in preventing you from shooting at them. Now we've got a Panzer T-25 the other side of that ridge line, the other side of the hill. We're on the reverse slope, remember, and the problem is now we can't shoot. We've got a red line, you see. The ridge line is in the way, so we'd have to move up the ridge line, then that exposes you to enemy fire. So he can shoot at the Type 64, but the Type 64 can fire back at him. He fires around him, but misses. You see, he's dangerously close to those enemy, and in fact, one of the enemy, the Leo, is really close. And he's trying to get a line on the Type 64 to shoot him. Difficult shot. Round out. No, fell behind him. It's really difficult to aim at targets which are so close and where you've got ridge lines in the way. Okay, Panzer T-25 lined up, round out. Direct hit takes him out. That was a really good shot. Very quick, quickly aimed, but it was right on target. And we've got two in the cap. But the problem is that the enemy has got three very mobile tanks, the Leo, the Type 64 and the T-34, and of course we haven't seen their Arty, which is a Hummel. Now we've got 4 tanks, 2 of which are in the cap, and 2 Arty, the M12, but unfortunately the M12 is near to that Type 64 and he's spotted him. And you can see he's circling back to try and kill him. We fire around in. Oh, he took out the Type! He got the Type! That was a really good shot. He's just saved the M12's life with that shot, because I'm sure that Type 64 was turning back to kill the M12. And the M12 is moving slightly further north just to avoid counter battery, because of course his position was compromised, and now he needs to find a new firing position that can enable him to shoot at the enemy that are threatening the cap. Oh, we just lost the Comet in the cap. Fired around in at the Leo, but we hit the ridge line there. Oh no, we've just lost the KV-1 as well. So now it's 2 Arty versus 2 mediums and an Arty. Oh dear. Can Fishercat even the score up a bit? Well, he's fired around in at that T-34, but no, he didn't get him. So what do we do now? Well, the enemy could start capping, but I think it's more likely they will try and start hunting Arty. And I suspect that what Fishercat is doing is either moving to a location where they won't expect to find him, which is on their side of the map, or he's hunting their Arty. And he's being very careful not to knock down any scenery, because of course the Hummel can go to look down mode and see if there's been any destruction, any walls falling over, any fences falling, any trees being knocked down. That will all give the enemy clues as to where he is. And this is a difficult moment because you're going into those trees, you don't know what's behind them. There could be an enemy in there. Always being careful. Well, he knocked a tree down, but I'm not sure the enemy will have seen that. So I think he's safe. Trees at the edge of the map where there's a lot of other trees located around them, it's unlikely that the enemy would spot that. Well, I think we've seen just about all the places that the enemy Arty is likely to be, and he doesn't appear to be here. No, he's not. Okay, in which case the enemy Arty must be further south, and we've lost the M12 now. So Fishercat's all on his own. He's got 3 kills, which puts him at the top of the table alongside one of his teammates, but the M12, who also got 3. But now he's got to deal with 2 of the enemy, because one of the enemy was taken out by the M12 just before he died. And the enemy is capping. Now we don't know which one of the enemy. It could be the Hummel, or it could be the T-34. Okay, he's going to move forward. He's got to do it. He can't sit at the back and just lob shells into the cap area. You will have to go in and do the business. If he did fire on the cap and they spotted where the shell was coming from, there's the Hummel. Okay, he's seen the Hummel. He's aiming auto aim. And he's taken him out! 300 hit points, got the Hummel. Now it's 1-on-1. Him versus the T-34. Unfortunately, the Hummel would have told the T-34 exactly where Fishercat was. So he's going to have to relocate. He can't stay where he was. Now I think he's moving to the other side of the cap, and that's a smart move, because if the Hummel's going to look anywhere, it's going to be on the the west side of the map, not the east side. And he doesn't need to worry about knocking over trees now, unless of course they're very obvious ones right at the top of a hill where the the T-34 might see it. Now he's near the cap. What's he doing here? Well, it looks like he's setting up an Arty nest. So he's going to try and hide from the T-34 and wait for the T-34 to come by and ambush him. He's knocked the tree down for cover. Now let's see if the T-34 comes by. He must be looking for him. He's got the buildings either side of him. There's the T-34! Oh, he's been spotted! He's manually aiming! Oh! Well, he got an auto aim and he's pulled back. He hasn't decided to ram him. He's pulled back behind cover, and that's a good idea because the T-34 could shoot continuously. This is forcing the T-34 come from behind, and he's reloaded and he shotguns the T-34 and wins the battle, wins the game. Well done, Fishercat. That was an excellent kill. He thought very clearly and carefully, what should I do once I've shotgunned the guy? And he didn't kill him with the first shot, so he had to pull back behind cover to reload and fire again, and it worked beautifully. And he's got an ace tanker. Well done, Fishercat. Ace Tanker in the M44. He picked up a Bruiser Medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 19. He got an Arsonist for setting fire to the GW Panther. He got a Fighter Badge because he managed to get at least 4 kills. He got 5. And he got a Counter Battery because he took out both the GW Panther and the Hummel, both of the enemy Arty. Very well played. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he got the highest damage on his team, 1,867 hit points, but he didn't get the highest damage overall. That went to the SU-100 on the enemy team. He picked up the high caliber. But he did get the highest number of kills on his team, 5, matched by the Type 64 on the enemy team, Captain Jack Sparrow, who managed to get 5 as well. And when it came to base XP, he was the highest on both teams with 1,135. And of course, that was an ace tanker. Let's have a look at the detailed report. Well, he fired 19 rounds. He got 6 direct hits, 6 penetration, 5 splash. He did damage of 1,867 hit points, and 1,301 of that was at more than 300 meters. Obviously, the T-34 was a lot closer, so was the Hummel. He received 1 hit from the T-34, and it was a penetration. If he'd stayed in the open to try and shoot again, he would have taken a lot more hits and possibly would have died in the process. So he did the right thing to pull back behind cover. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle. I think that was the Hummel. He damaged 9 of the enemy, but killed 5 of them. And he did damage assistance of 273 hit points, and stun assistance of 415 off 7 stuns. He also managed to get 16 defense points. I'm not sure which one that was. It could have been the Hummel, or it might have been the AMX M445. But at least he got 16 defense points. On a premium account, he earned 43,730 credits. You got 10,000 credits for a personal missions payout. And after repair, ammunition resupply, he was left with 43,554 credits. He received 1,703 XP, but it was ×3 for the first victory. He also picked up a personal missions payout of 852, bringing his total to 5,961 experience points altogether. So yes, 2 shotguns for the win, and yes, 1 versus 2. That's quite a good takedown that was, especially considering you didn't know where either of the Hummel or the T-34 were. You'd hunted for them, but you couldn't find them. And remember, the view range on the M44 is not exactly great. It's about 325 meters, so it was very risky going hunting for vehicles which would have had a greater view range. And of course, in the case of the Hummel, in the case of the T-34 rather, you actually set up an ambush, and that worked. It worked very well because the T-34 just wandered by, and you were able to shotgun him before he realized that he was in very great danger. And it worked beautifully. So well done, Fishercat. If you like this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.